So, hello everyone. My name is Kenneth Dempsey and I'm a doctoral candidate with Liberty University. And today we're going to have a learning session where everybody participates. And I have four family members here of people who are associated with military people and others that have PTSD and know some of the things that can happen. And we're going to talk about some of those things today. It's called Military Families Living with PTSD. And as my wife is fond of saying, everyone in the family is affected if one person has that, and it's certainly true. I think you'll all probably agree with that. And I know some of you, all of you probably have had some dealings with it, I'm sure. So coping with PTSD symptoms and the risk of suicide, which we know is a very real thing, something we've experienced that. So we talk about learning outcomes, and I have some graphics there to zip it up a little bit. And I appreciate all of you coming here today. And as I said, it's not me standing up here lecturing, but it is an interactive process. So you're going to be the teachers as much as I am. So each person will be able to, and it's no pressure at all, please, recognize and analyze 3 symptoms of PTSD. It's easy because we're going to discuss and we're going to help each other. Recognize 2 actions to be taken when faced with potential of suicide. Somebody, you see family member or someone else who may be acting out in a way. Some tips on what to do. We're going to discuss and help each other with that. Name and assess 2 coping skills, so coping mechanisms. And this can apply to so many things because I think the figure is 40% of the American population experiences anxiety at least, so that is huge. 30 to 40%. And one of the other learning outcomes is know how to implement 3 useful resources. And with that, and I'm building up to a movie that we will see. It's a 3-minute movie, and I will say it can be disturbing, and I will give the disclaimer that it is very, graphic. And so all of you, any of you can feel free to get up. There's no shame in that at all. First time I saw it, I think I left the room too. So that's fine. But a little bit about PTSD, and I'm going to ask for a volunteer out there. There's 4 of you to read that for me, please. Yes, ma'am.
About PTSD. Post-traumatic stress disorder is a mental health condition that's triggered by a terrifying event, either by experiencing or by witnessing it.
And someone else will read this. 3 clusters of PTSD symptoms. What's the first one, please?
Intrusive memories, or nightmares, uncontrollable thoughts about the event.
Yes, nice and loud. Thank you very much. Another one.
Hypervigilance, severe anxiety.
And third one, young lady.
Avoidance behaviors, drug or alcohol, distracting behaviors, limiting interactions.
Yeah, and so avoidance behavior. Some people will not go to a place like Home Depot, where going the trucks that load underneath the big archway, when they throw the plywood into that, I jump because it sounds just like incoming missiles in Afghanistan. Boom! So, so we're going to go to the next one. So this is the film, and I have to say, I'm going to tell you up front to defuse it because it ends well. It has a good ending, so, but it's graphic. And if anybody wants to use the bathroom, anybody wants to go out, please do. And I'm going to put something here, and I'll talk about it again, but crisis line, 1-800-273-TALK. It's very important. There's also 911 for emergencies, right? If you have to, if you feel that you need, call 911. 211 is an informational that'll get you to the right, let's say, social services, psychiatric help, mental health help, I should say, is a better way of putting it. But 911 is the big guy. Call 911 if you need to. The crisis line is for not only veterans, it's for anyone at all. It's in Canandaigua, New York, and it has facilities everywhere. So if you call that number and say, I'm feeling very, very panicky, anxious, maybe suicidal, this is a good resource to use. Okay, so we're going to start that movie, and there's always a little bit of a trick here to get the YouTube going exactly the way I want it to go, but it just takes a minute, so bear with me. And for some reason, I think it doesn't start at the beginning. Can you control that and raise it? Please raise that volume. All the way. Wait. Thank you. Higher.
Oh, it's tight squeeze. Do me good to spend time with you guys. Please.
Yeah, but once you're back on the meds, Keith.
Once you're back on the meds.
Not for real. I want you back at Dr. Holtzman's, and I want you back on your
And
meds.
then with PTSD. Military veteran.
Mom, Dad, look what I found! Here! Mom, can I take a moment?
Archie, you know what? That's not a good idea, okay? It could be dangerous.
I think it's fine.
Hey, Keith, Mom, I promise to take care of you.
I know, I just...
Note some of the things you might want to write down.
High pitched noise, huh?
Did you hear that?
I don't know what's got in that head of yours.
If you're worried about Archie taking care of him, I'll come over every day. I can feed him. I just kind of feel like it would be better if I could see you guys a little more often.
I don't want him around our son,
Whatever
okay?
you got against me, don't take it out on the dogs, okay? The
Oh
dogs
my
make
God,
a lot. He
Keith,
deserves
it's
a little
not
bit better.
just
That's my
about
birthday
dogs.
present to our son.
My son is my only priority. You know what? He should be yours, too.
You're good, honey, son. Maybe you can hear it this time. I'm sorry.
Everybody all right?
Got that? Stay right here.
What's that again for?
I need you to put down the gun, okay?
Oh my God.
Thank God.
That's awful. Yeah.
Thank God.
Oh, okay. Me and Mom are gonna take me to the hospital right now. Stay there for a while until I get better.
Well, when are you gonna come home?
I don't know yet. I promise you I'm gonna figure it out. I'll be home as soon as I can.
She's going to go into the hospital.
Wow.
So, down there and... Oh. Okay. Technical issues here. So based on that video, if you would, everybody take a deep breath because it was intense.
Yeah. Very intense.
You all right? Everybody? All right. We're sounding boards for each other. We're here for support. That's what we're here for, right? So there's this device called Think, Pair, Share that's like a dynamic teaching method. So I would like you to each think of a concern. You might have already written down something. To write it down and take 1 minute for that, and then pair off 2 and 2 and discuss for 2 minutes among the two of you. And then we'll join a larger group and discuss for 4 minutes. So if you would go ahead and do that, and I'll be right here. And another half a minute, we'll be joining. All four of you will be here. Okay, so we're going to pair off for the timing now. Are you ready? Oh, you take another. You're still writing, that's fine. Absolutely great. That is good. All right, so are you two going to pair up? Is that it? You two will pair up and discuss what you just wrote, and you and she will pair up and discuss what you just wrote.
And so, what'd you put that? What'd you put that?
Of concern?
Yeah.
I was concerned about how traumatized the soldiers are, the things that they experienced there. And then second concern I had was how drastically it affects the family. And the child was traumatized, the wife was traumatized, how it splits people apart and stuff.
It's not the issue, it's
just
the
really
society.
scary.
Yeah, so what I put is
How
like people with
you're raised
PTSD
in
don't
a
often like
society,
get like
you're
that they need.
taught
And then I also
there's
put
only
like
one
it's
way
often not
to
like
be and
regarded as
act,
like super
and
serious.
that's
You know, and it should be.
as you get
Understood,
older.
people don't understand it.
less
The
and
people
less
in that
less
restaurant
things
didn't
that
understand what was
abnormal
going on with
things.
him.
You're not normal, I don't want anything to do with you.
Like
You're not
you
normal,
see
you're
this,
just wrong.
I've experienced that with Kenny. We'll be
You're
going somewhere in a restaurant and something happens where he hears either a loud noise or something.
I think that's why the
And
wife
he
is
will,
pushing him
like this, and I always know that,
And you think that's
it's
why
what's
he
happening
can't
with my
bring
dad was
himself
like
to ask
that
for
too.
help.
Yeah.
He doesn't know how to be normal anymore. He doesn't know how to be
How a
normal.
lot of,
She only
how
wants
so
to
many
be
people
normal.
avoid
She can't deal with abnormal. She doesn't want to deal with anything abnormal.
the
She doesn't
feeling,
want to
the
deal with
fear
dog.
that they feel, and
Dog
they
is
wind
this
up addicted to alcohol and other
strange
drugs and
creature
stuff just to.
eating garbage.
It's
That's
a,
not
it's a
what's
slippery
supposed
slope.
to be.
Yeah, it leads
So
to
she's
all
like,
sorts of those things.
she thinks it's dangerous.
And I just
Immediately,
got a real
she does
kick out of
nothing
how
about
powerful that those
That's great.
little lick was.
That's doing
And
great.
he
Fantastic.
You know,
husband,
wasn't that
soldier,
something?
sees that wounded soul. He's reaching out to his wounded soul.
Right. He
So my
sees
timekeeper
dogs
tells me that's about 3 minutes. So now if we have a bigger group discussion, and so I put up here some of the things, and I hope you can hear me. Can you hear me all right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so some of the things that families, and I underscore that, I put it in italics and in color, conditions seen in military veterans and families, because the families are totally affected by this in a bigger way than the soldier at times. And I say soldier meaning soldier, sailor, airman, marine, or Coast Guardian. But some of the things that might be expressed in that family dynamic, right? Grief, the PTSD that's there, and it may not just be the soldier, let's say, generically, that has that stress, depression, fear, anorexia, phobias. All of those things might be expressed, and I'm going to ask you to open up now and talk about some of these things and some of the things that you wrote there. Anybody want to go first now? Did you have something?
A lot of these feelings are very powerful feelings.
Yeah.
They're very strong, primal emotions. So when people feel these feelings, it's hard for them to keep control of themselves and what they're feeling and what they're doing and saying. So the strong intensity of these emotions could be what was
Give me some.
scaring the wife.
Give me some
away.
examples that you all have written there, and I'm going to put them on this board if you can see. And so give me some of those emotions.
Well, she was anxious
Anxiety.
about what he might do, I think.
Right. She was thinking about her son, right?
Yeah, she thought he was in
Anxiety.
danger.
What else?
There's a lot of fear. You could see the fear
Fear.
in her over
Right.
what he was going to do to himself, to them, to to anybody. I mean, there's a
Absolutely.
great amount of fear.
Anybody else?
So,
There was,
You're
I don't know if
therapy,
anybody
don't you?
caught it, but for just a brief second, when she was sitting on the swing and he was kneeling down by his wife, he did say, I thought, that he could handle it himself. But that's why she insisted he go on his meds and go back to the doctor, because she knows that he can't.
Yeah.
He needs help. And he
Very
didn't want to admit it. Yeah.
Okay.
But it's hard for them to ask for help.
Right.
That's good help.
and sometimes they stop taking their meds
Yeah.
just because they get to a point where they it's feeling better, so they think,
Yeah.
well, I probably don't need this anymore.
Right. And the
I can
emotions.
just do without it, and slowly but surely all of that stuff starts slipping back into their behavior,
Right.
and they lose control again.
And some people, from my professional experience, will the medications will be a good route for some people. I myself like to see the therapies, the group counseling, and all of those things. But for some people, maybe short range medication is the answer. Medication can be helpful. It helps
Short
people,
term.
for sure.
Short term.
Yeah, with all of the other important factors too. You know, therapy is
Yes.
very important.
Talking. I think
Group-
talking is
Group
so
therapy
important.
and visual therapy.
Yeah.
You know, going to support groups.
Support groups, and that's something I'm going to get into right now. And I'm listing some of the symptoms. To get into the next, anybody else have something on that?
I would say there was a lot of stress. Too.
Stress.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, yes. Stress.
Right.
Right, all around, right? I mean, not just the soldier, sailor, and marine, but the spouse.
Spouse,
The
the child,
family,
you could see with
the
the child
child.
too.
You know what was happening.
The children who, as I went away when my kids were young, they didn't know. At different ages, they saw it differently. The 5-year-old had no clue what was going on.
Yeah, it's very.
So the next thing we want to talk about is what to do about these things. If you come across someone who is acting out the way that man was, and that you want to remain calm, and you can. These are discussion points, so you can say what you want. Remain calm, maintain the eye contact, as she did in that film.
Yeah.
Right. She didn't go running out of the room. She took her son out of there to protect him.
Right.
A very good thing because
Right.
the man had a gun. So she maintained the eye contact, act with confidence. All right, you're going to be all right. You're going to put this down. Don't do that. And did she scream? Yeah, she screamed because it looked like he was going to.
Yeah. It's
But
scary,
yeah.
you know, even
Oh,
telling them all these things,
Right.
it's still the person that's trying to calm that person down is scared to death inside.
it's scared to death. This is the ideal. It's the be there, what to do. But most people wouldn't remember that day. But if
They
you're
can learn.
in a perfect world, you would say, "I want to remain calm."
Yeah.
I mean, she did. Not, well, okay, at first she was calm. Then she made the eye contact when the gun came out, and that was bad. But after that, it started de-escalating.
Yeah.
That's when she was more confident, not arguing. Open body language. Not going at the person like this, but going at the person like, I'm here to help you. That's
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
important, sure.
Limit the questions. Let the person do the
Right.
talking. Use supportive, encouraging comments.
Everything's gonna be okay. You're okay.
Which one is that?
Be honest, and there are no quick solutions, but help is available. That's what we're going to absolutely tell people, so that fight or flight or freeze, because that the man in this portrayed here was acting out in that way, wasn't he? He was like he found the stray dog. Here's one. Wanted to take him in. It was a good thing. And it turned out in the end that dog was what? What would you say?
Saved his life. Probably in a
Yeah,
lot of
saved
ways.
his life. He was
Probably
he
was
was
the
arrested.
Calmed him down.
Empathetic one of them all.
Two wounded souls that came together.
He had a lot
Two
of
souls.
love.
Really, really profound.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it was like,
I mean, that dog had cuts all over his face. You could tell that he was traumatized too, but yet he was able to calm the traumatized man with just a lick.
And of course, this is drama, but in the real world, that could happen. In the VA, they have therapy dogs, they have service dogs, and then just companion dogs. So there's different levels. It's something that people with PTSD respond to.
Traumatized children too. Children respond to animal therapy.
Yeah, and how about horses? Because I know you worked with horses out in Texas, and
Horses too. Horses
equine therapy is a
Equine
big
therapy,
thing.
yeah.
Horses are beautiful and calm. They're very nice to be around.
Yeah, so that person who pictured him sitting in that cafeteria. I had a recent experience that I won't go into, but sometimes being in a crowded place brings out those symptoms we talked about earlier, right? And it might be a fight or flight thing where he misinterprets his noises as something else. So it's a noisy place, and the poor man here was experiencing flashbacks that are pretty serious. That was very serious, and I thank you for looking at that movie and being able to respond calmly like this. It's very not easy. So that fight, flight, or freeze response. So it's a really great thing to talk about recovery tools. And so yeah, that's a cool little MRI over there. And so some of the things that can be done: counseling, family, group, individual. There's evidence-based practice. CPT, prolonged exposure. I'm not going to get into any of that, but I know that you know something about it. You know something. You probably have heard about that. So, in research, we do evidence-based. We look at what works and study it and say, this has worked. Let's do this again. And it's a great, field of research out there. And things that work are the things that we are proven and we use for our therapies. I believe in the counseling, individual, family, and group, and in the VA, for instance, I don't feel that they're big enough on families. What do you feel about that?
No, they're not.
Maybe they need to include families more.
The only familial support that's really out there is if you're near a military base.
Right.
And your spouse is either active duty or reserve.
And you mean during deployment?
During
But then,
deployment,
now in
prior
the
to
VA,
deployment, and post-deployment. If you're near a military base, then you're good, but otherwise you don't have that support system.
Yeah, you would think that they would offer some family groups or meetings, family meetings, of, in support of their soldiers that have PTSD.
yes, I advocate and agitate for that, and we are doing it more now. But there are outside of the VA medical center, there's the vet centers that are more spontaneous. Somebody can walk in there, and there's no stigma attached to it. Some people are afraid to seek help.
Yeah, sure.
But less stigma. There's one over by John I. Leonard High School over there, across the street. That's a vet center. And they're big on family therapy.
Great.
But usually the families only can get therapy if it's spearheaded by the sponsor.
Right.
If the sponsor doesn't request it, the family cannot avail themselves of those
In the vet center, though, a family member of a veteran
They can
go
walk
in
in
there.
there now?
I think there just needs to
But
be
they have a
more
long way to
awareness
go, I
in
agree.
general.
You had some thoughts. I can see you percolating.
It's kind of just stuff that's like all over the place. I couldn't really put it into words.
Okay. I'm hoping that this is a good thing. And
It really has us thinking.
Yeah.
there's a professional help too, and I'm big on that. Psychiatrists, psychologists, social workers, nurses, and there's many community resources. Your church, a lot of people will not seek mental health aid, but they will talk to their priest, their minister, their
Right.
rabbi, their imam, whatever it might be.
That's more socially acceptable, and there's no stigma of, not being able to deal with your own issues and your own emotions.
That's a good point. Yeah.
People look down on other people for not being able to fix themselves, make themselves better.
Right.
Stigma is a word I would put out there as, there's still that fear, that stigma of, oh, if I ask for help, I'm crazy, or people will
Right.
say you're crazy. People make fun of you. You
Right.
know,
You can't handle life and all that.
we're making great strides in overcoming the stigma, but it is, frankly, it's
Sure.
I think
But-
everyone should be in therapy. I think everyone should have a person that they can talk to that doesn't judge them.
Right.
I think
I
that's
agree.
generally
It should
would
be-
help everyone. Yeah.
good point.
Very
Anybody
good point.
else? Yeah.
Honestly, I think that they should like destigmatize that sort of stuff like in schools, where like kids are more impressionable and they can actually take that with them later.
Right.
Yeah.
It would help them so much at that age. Yeah.
Well, so for my education, what I intend to do with this degree is work in the schools. I mean, I work in the VA right now, and I can say this, that I can leave the VA feeling the interventions are well taken care of. Let's see the families. Let's go out there to the school. People in school, look at the horrible shootings that we've had.
Yeah.
What is going on there? And it's more than just about guns. That's a big thing, but it's about mental health. Mental health. So why do we not go out there and do something about, like you said, teach the children in school at all grade levels? You want to talk more about that?
Well, I've had a lot of friends, and I know a lot of people who struggled with like not only like PTSD but like suicide as well, because it's a very stressful time in life. When you're a teen and you have all like the hormones going, and
Yes.
your brain's starting to think in different ways, and you're sort of like starting to become the person you're going to be. So it's a really stressful time for a lot of people. So a lot of people have issues with that.
Then you have a ton of schoolwork on top of it.
And now there's more schoolwork than ever. I mean, we have so many standardized tests, it's ridiculous.
How do kids treat kids who do help, try to get help? Are they bullied or is it accepted?
I mean, it really depends. I've never seen anyone get bullied for it, but I'm sure there's people out there that would do that.
What about social media? Is bullying on social media? I've seen a lot of that.
Honestly, I don't use social media enough to like make a judgment on that, but I definitely think that it would make sense if that was a thing. Yeah.
But that's a good point about teaching
Yeah.
when the minds are still absorbing and growing and get all those ideas to carry with them.
Right. How to deal
Their
with
impression of,
issues,
yeah,
trauma, traumatic events.
right.
Catch people at a much earlier. Absolutely.
Let's say they deal with this 10 years down the road, they might know better how to deal with it.
I think bullying is a big factor among adolescent and young adults.
Right.
Suicides.
It
And
shaped
we've
someone
seen
we
it,
know.
unfortunately. Huh?
It shaped the life of someone we know.
Yes. We experience it way too closely. And, one thing is self-help support groups, and there are. I'll talk about other resources, but there are for the younger generation. Text. You can text for help. You can interact. You don't even have to. If you want to go around your parents, some people are afraid to bring it to the parents. You can go online for help. Google or whatever. DuckDuckGo, one search engines, say help, and there's a crisis line, and there's so much help out there, and there's text. There are apps, and I'll get to that in a minute too, but here's some of the things that, I can point to it, try to. www.ptsd.va.gov, but that's for the VA, but NAMI is National Alliance for Mental Illness, I think it is. And here's another coaching and mobile apps and that sort of thing. And some more resources. Crisis line. Want to read that off?
1-800-273-TALK.
Talk. And that's a national. For veterans, they would click one after that, choose one. Local assist, again, and you've heard this before, it's worth mentioning it because it's so important. Yeah. 911, if any emergency, and if in a case there, if that woman had had time, she would have dialed the 911, but she did it a different way, which worked out, and the dog was there, that was pretty lucky. But sometimes you don't want to leave it to fate like that. There's online assistance, and there's texting available as well. And via there's mobile devices, apps rather. So you can just take your iPhone and go to your app store and say, put in PTSD. You'll have a dozen things. Not only PTSD, anxiety, panic attacks, depression, all sorts of health things. And you can sometimes do a little test, and it'll tell you, it might say, it seems like maybe you should talk to a counselor. And that doesn't mean you're crazy. It doesn't mean you need to go to a psychiatrist, maybe a social worker, maybe you're a minister or priest, maybe you'll go to a mental health clinic, or find some counseling in school. If you're in school, go to your school counselor and say, look, show them what you have there. These are things that really help. I put my references in here. I'll grab these credits. And again, there's some of the resources here. You will get a copy of this PowerPoint. Is there anything that anybody wanted to bring up then? I thank you for helping me. I think I always learn every time I talk. Thank you very much.
Yeah, that's good. You have to do your timing is